About this debate that you were able to make it?
What is different about this debate? I think that the debates have become more prominent and more important to our electoral process. I believe 4 years ago they were somewhat new to the listening public. God bless you.
Thank you.
But what has happened is people are used to it, and the fact is there are more now than there used to be, and I guess more people are television prone, and they get their news from TV more than the printed word, and so it has gained importance. And also the fact is, the reason for my being here is because I realize the clock is ticking and I want to come when I can.
So what are you hoping to see tonight? What are you hoping?
I'm hoping to see an interesting spirited debate. I am here with an open mind, and I don't care to discuss politics, but I just think the opportunity, the democratic process is down to 3 individuals tonight, and that should make it more spirited. The Republicans have, I think, 9, and they have the junior class and so forth, so it doesn't give everybody as much time as they want, but I assume the debate tonight will be also 2 hours, and if that's the case, maybe it won't be, but it certainly gives you a chance to hear the views. I don't know if anything will be brought up today about the recent tragedy in Paris. Most of their information, I believe, is already scripted, and this will not be open to the public, I don't believe, for Q&A. I believe it'll be the usual format. A panel will ask them questions. Whether they'll throw that in or not, I don't know. It would really be a hot potato, especially to the Democratic Party, because the party in office now will be responsible for whatever happens.
Right.
You said the last time you were on campus was for your
60th
class
reunion. Yes.
You know, how often do you try to come back? Because where do you live now? New York?
I am a Miami resident, and I spend part of the year in New York.
Okay, and so, you know, how often or what kind of things bring you back to Drake?
Well, at one time I was a trustee, and I would come here, I guess once a year. The meetings were twice a year. Maybe I could meet 2, but I would certainly make at least 1 a year. And the Board of Trustees was disbanded, and the Board of Governors remained, and so therefore, not being a trustee, I don't come that often. And it isn't that close.
True. So, walking around campus, seeing everything that's been changed to accommodate the debate, was there anything that stuck out to you as different? Was there anything as you were walking around that you're like, oh, that's cool, that's new?
Well, the most impressive thing is the entrance to the campus, which I have long been in favor of.
The new signs
signage and
yeah,
I was really, from the time of Mick Ferrari, I said, it doesn't look like a campus. It doesn't have the impression. The school is an incredible school and well thought of. The U.S. News and World Report always has us as one of the top 10 universities west of the Mississippi, liberal arts colleges, if I'm being quoted correctly. But the thing is, you pass by and you really didn't realize. This is very important, and I am really thrilled with it. John Smith was kind enough to point it out, but I didn't need pointing.
Gosh darn it, I just forgot the question. Oh, have you gotten to interact with a lot of students?
I haven't met with any students as yet.
Okay.
Last time I did go to Peggy's.
Oh, goodness. You're going to have to make a return trip.
Is Peggy's open still?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Well, then maybe we'll go this evening.
Okay. We'll see you there.
It was fun. I went last time. It's even too self-serving to remark what happened. There was a very attractive young lady that I started speaking to, and she said, "How about dancing?" And I did. And she says, "My God, you rule." Quote, "You rule."
You rule.
I hardly knew the expression.
Well,
Was Peggy's around when you were a student?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. It was a famous place. You know, I assume the drinking age is 21 now, but somewhere
sir.
in my mind, I think it used to be 18.
It did.
And so when I went to school, it was 18, and you got a lot more students. However, I would, I don't want to say anything, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who weren't 21.
Not here, sir. Not at Drake University.
Not a drinking, yeah, that's right. Heard me outside. I'll tell you, I don't know how off the record we should be.
That's fine.
You're fine. We won't put anything.
Okay. I have a granddaughter who was born the day before I dedicated this auditorium
Oh.
in 1993.
Wow.
So she will be 23 in January. Her birthday is January 26th, and it was within a few days. Therefore, my daughter couldn't show up because she had other plans, having a baby. A few years ago, she and my daughter came to New York, and I took them, I'm going to leave the name of the restaurant out,
Okay.
to a very fine restaurant in New York. And she ordered a cocktail. They brought her a cocktail, and then she went to order a second, and the maitre d' came over and said, "Young lady, I doubt that you're 21. And she said, "Really? What do you need?" He says, "I need ID." She says, "I have it." And I didn't recall the number of years and what had been or so, but she said, "I have it in my raincoat," which she checked. She goes and goes to get it. I said to the maitre d', if she comes back with an ID that says she's 21, this drink is on the house. So he said yes. She came back and she had an ID, but it was phony.
Oh no.
Well, all the kids have it, I'm told. It's a very simple thing. So we got the drink for nothing.
Oh my goodness gracious. You have to go to Peggy's tonight. You have to go to Peggy's tonight.
I will. Do they close at 1 or 12?
Oh gosh, Jack.
1:30.
1:30?
Is closing
You know,
time.
when I first came to Drake, the very first day, we went downtown to, I don't recall the name of the thing, it may have been Babes, it may have been Critelli's, whatever. And we were 4 guys, and I was then a scotch drinker, and so I ordered scotch, and no problem. I was 17 years old.
Wow.
And then it was, oh, I'm sorry, we were ordering beer.
Okay. Not
At
scotch.
11:45, she said, "I'm sorry, it was Saturday night. We can't serve beer after 12. Oh my God. So what would you like? I said, well, then I'll have scotch. That you can have. Because that was against the law
Oh,
to
gosh,
do, so
that's
they couldn't
funny.
lose that license. But they could lose the beer's license.
That's funny.
That's so funny.
The check for four people was less than $5, 1948. And
Wow.
so I put $2 on the table. It's coming from New York, we're used to. To which the waitress says, "What's that for?"
Wow. And that was here in Des Moines?
Yes,
That's so
downtown in Des
funny.
Moines. But I remember there was a restaurant once called Babes, and there was another called Critelli's. I don't remember which one. It was downtown.
So, in 1993, you had the renovations, or
The renovation was actually done in '92, and the full dedication was done, I'm guessing, January 24th or 5th or maybe 27th of 1993.
Okay, and what kind of inspired you to?
Oh, yes, I can tell you what inspired me to put some muscle into this. It's a bit of a story. You have time?
Absolutely.
Okay. My first day at campus
As a student?
in Des Moines, my first day, they had orientation in Old Main Auditorium, to which, of course, I attended. I got up in the morning. I have, since I was 16 years old, carried a black, not this one, but a black alligator wallet as an upper wallet for your everything worthwhile in it. Sure enough, I go to put on a sport jacket and put this in the pocket, and my roommate said, "You're not going to wear a jacket, are you?" I said, "I thought I was." "Nah, come on, wear a sweater." Okay, take off the jacket, I wear a sweater. Then I have to do something with this, so I put it in my pants pocket. It's a rather bulky thing to do that with, but that's what I did. Sure enough, I come to orientation, I sit down, I listen. At the end of orientation, I make it over to the bank on University. I reach, I ain't got no wallet. Wow. I'm 1,300 miles from home. My parents are vacationing. I took $100 out and put it into my pocket, you know, that little watch pocket under your belt. But the check for the tuition, for things like I'm lost. Fortunately, these friends, these fellas that I met within a day or two were very friendly. This one gave me the other thing. I got in touch with my father's place of business, and they sent me some money. But it was really upsetting because that wallet in 1947 cost $50,
Wow.
which, do the arithmetic with today, it's like more than 500, more than 10,000. Okay, I accepted it. About 10 days later, I get a phone call. Your wallet's been found. It's a miracle. I hot foot over to the administration office, and there the custodian, a Mr. Brown, hands me my wallet. I said, I am so thrilled. I give him $10. He said, "What's that for?" I said, "It's for you." He said, "I didn't do anything." He says, "It was right under the seat." He says, "Look inside and see if everything's there." I didn't care, but I opened it and I saw there was some money. If there's some money, it's all there. Nobody takes them and leaves them. So it was all there. And sure enough, I was so thrilled that I shook my head and I said, you know what? Only in a place like Des Moines would there be such honesty to get back something that was there for a week and then returned with everything. I said, this had such a warm spot in my heart for this place. And then, when they decided to redo it, Maddie Levitt was holding, she was chairing the fundraising, and I was very friendly with Maddie. In fact, she used to say, "Why don't you marry me?" I said, "Maddie, I can't afford to." She says, "I don't eat that much." So anyway, she said, "We're going to do this." I said, "Maddie, I want to be part of it. I want to do what I can to do it," because there was Bulldog Tales, I don't know if they still do it, but it was a yearly event where the various fraternities would put on a skit in competition. And one year, my fraternity won.
Which fraternity were you a part of?
Alpha Epsilon Pi. I don't even know if they're still here.
I don't think so.
Not anymore.
No, probably not. But anyway, it was a fraternity that had maybe 80% New Yorkers.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It was just like home, you know? And my roommate at that time is still one of my closest friends now, 60 some odd years later. So it's interesting that the friends you meet and the people you meet are lifelong friends. And another event they had was a night of opera, and they did it for 3 nights. I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or maybe it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Drake had one of the outstanding music schools at the time, and they had great vocalists who were here studying. They had a great drama guy, Dr. Fiedelick, and sure enough, there was this one soloist. I don't remember her first name, but her last name was Davies, and she had a lyrical soprano, and she sang this song that I think it was from Norda Marietta, but it, you know, da 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 da, very high notes. I went to see it every night just to hear her do it. Then, subsequently, I don't know, 6 months later or something, Drake went on tour, and believe it or not, they ended up playing in Brooklyn as one of their things.
Really?
I picked myself up, I drove to Brooklyn to hear her sing that thing again. So, I mean, it was everything about the school, the people, the friends you meet. I was friendly with a young lady that I dated at the time, was the granddaughter of the founder of Yonkers.
Okay.
Yeah, her name was Friedman. Her father was the president. Her mother was a Mandelbaum, and they were the people who owned Yonkers. And so, to this day, I'm friendly with Bill Friedman. We had dinner last night.
Aw.
We don't see each other often, but we'll have brunch again on Sunday. The people you meet here are so unique. People are wonderful all over the world, but there's something about Iowa people that is sincere, down-to-earth, genuine people, and I've cherished that. I am so glad that I just happened to have landed here by chance, because I met a fellow once at a summer resort who was going here and mentioned it and spoke highly of it. And I had been involved working from the time I was 9 years old. I worked for my father after school and then summer vacations and so forth. And it got to the point that I began to realize that his friends were becoming my friends, and that wasn't the right generation. So I wanted to go to a school far away. My folks, as most New Yorkers, no, Iowa, that's like Ohio, it's right next to Pennsylvania. Afterwards, they took out a map and they said, oh my God, 1,300 miles away. I'm the only son. My sister says I'm the only child. But anyway, I was so happy that it happened, because it was 3.5, I made it in 3.5 years. It was 3.5 golden years being at Drake, and I've always had that feeling. I also established a small scholarship. It's a prize given, and it was intended given to the student who has the most extracurricular activity. I didn't want a concern with scholastics, because I think the thing that makes people a success is interaction with people. I'm a people person, and I'm not that bright, but the idea is that if you know somebody and they know you and you know how to get along, you'll succeed. And so that's what I decided to do, and it pays a certain amount every year. The interesting point was, after, I don't know, they invest the money that I gave, and it wasn't a large sum of money. They were getting more money than they were paying out as a
Mhm.
prize. So they called me one time and they said, Rett, we have a very happy problem. The EA Sheslow Pride, blah, 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 has more money that's given out. What, do you have any ideas? I said, sure, send it to me. Of course, they laughed and we both did. So what we did was, I allowed them to use it for music. Because, is Dr. ABC still on
Yes,
campus?
she is.
Okay, so I support that every year.
Mhm.
That's a separate thing, not from that, because her a cappella performances, I followed her to Carnegie Hall, never to hear her, but anyway, it's quite an organization, and it's something that very endearing to me. Anything that has Drake's label is especially meaning.
Well, do you have any other questions?